We all know the story of Death Note by now. An honest student living in a crime-ridden world finds a notebook with which he can kill anyone by writing their names down and having their faces in his head. With this, he decides to wipe out all crime in the world and become the new god. His actions catch the attention of the mysterious Detective L, who vows to hunt down Light, who finds himself facing a nameless and faceless intellectual enemy. This movie has the same premise, but goes into a different direction. How different, you ask? Quite a lot. But that's actually what I like about it. It tried something different. But before we go into what I liked, I will admit I did have a few mixed feelings of certain parts of the film. Please be aware there will be spoilers during this. A common complaint that this movie has is its rushed runtime and how it could have worked better as a miniseries. And I actually agree. A few scenes do seem like they couldn't be explored or extended. For example, the opening scene. I always felt that Light used the Death Note too quickly in this movie. I have nothing wrong with an African American playing L. Keith Sunderland did the best he could, and for the most part, he has the part down. He's got the mannerisms and habits. It feels like L. But at the same time, I do feel like this L is too emotional. And a part of me actually likes that. It adds something different to the character. I don't know, it's just hard to explain. I just didn't feel like this L in Light felt like the Sherlock and Moriarty of Death Note. The movie also ended with so many unanswered questions. Does Light kill his father? Does L kill Light? Who wins? Who loses? I know this ending was meant to be ambiguous, but like every game, I think we needed a clear answer. A clear ending. Now for what I liked. The character changes.
Okay.
Yep. The common criticism everyone has, I actually liked. It might sound hypocritical with what I said with L, but I like the attempt. Let me explain first by going through how the story is different. See, whilst the anime focused more on the cat and mouse game between Light and L, this movie reversed its priorities, leaving L as a subplot and the corrupting power of the Death Note as the main plot. And while I was quite disappointed that L and Light didn't have any more scenes, I was actually interested with the direction the film was going to. I guessed that the focus would be exploring what this notebook would do to someone who's basically free to live out her murderous fantasies. Yet, notice the her.
Okay.
In this version, it's not Light who loses his sanity, it's Misa. Or Mia here. With Rem and the Shimigami eyes adapted out, Mia becomes the second killer from the very start, forming a Bonnie and Clyde-like relationship, and it's clear she's enjoying this a lot more than Light. She doesn't care who dies, she just likes killing and would even kill Light once he protests about killing his father. You didn't hear me wrong. Light in this version is actually against murdering innocents, which is actually what I was hoping for with this version. I mean, come on, when you see this guy, do you even think he has the same intellect of the original? No, because he's not meant to be the original. This is a reimagining of a character that hasn't been done before. This version is a social outcast who at first gets caught up in all the good Kira can do, but when innocent lives at stake, he draws the line. That is, until the ending leads up to interpretation with Light's father. And for everyone saying he's not mad enough, we don't need him to laugh or chuckle evilly when he kills. Just what he writes down shows the enjoyment he's getting from all this. I mean, come on, he wrote down decapitation for his first kill. Now, being in a relationship does kinda go against Light Yagami's character, but the Japanese TV drama did something similar. And in this version, Light even got back at her for betrayal anyways. Served her right. This relationship is dysfunctional regardless of who's more insane. But what's important to know is that this Light is not the egomaniac we're all familiar with. You might prefer him that way, and I can see why. But I'll give this movie again credit for trying something different. How many times have we had the exact same take on the character? We've had different Jokers, Ultrons and Lexes, so why not Light? And the ending twist was just so anime-light. It's nowhere near as complex as Yagami, but for Turner to plan all that out quickly is actually impressive when you consider he was hunted down at the time. And this was always the intention of the character in the movie. What if a normal kid found the Death Note? Of course he won't laugh evilly. It's not like the anime where you're supposed to know he's insane right from the get-go. Matt Wolf plays a character who acts like anyone else would get in this thing, viewing it as a toy. Yagami used it as a tool. Turner and Mia were two children who wanted the new shiny toy and didn't want to share. But what I really liked about this film was Ryuk, who was voiced brilliantly by Willem Dafoe. They turned what was basically a comic relief character into such a dark and threatening presence. A lot of people keep saying he pressures Light into killing, but outside of the very beginning, he's much like the original, keeping vital information to himself and finding himself entertained. Going back to the ending, I'm quite split on it. I agree that it doesn't feel right to end it like that, but this scene makes Ellen Light similar to some extent without doing the intellectual challenge. They lost a parental figure. Light killed his mother's killer in vengeance, and we're wondering if Elle will do the same. Will we? Oh, I guess we'll have to find out until the CEO. But just because I liked it, it doesn't mean I loved it. Is this the perfect adaptation of Death Note? No, it's not. It's far from perfect. There are a few writing issues, and the pacing can be off at times. Die Hard fans won't even like the changes to Light and Misa, especially the addition of a new rule. But again, I can appreciate the attempt, because that's exactly what this movie is, an attempt to stand out. Judging by the Rotten Tomatoes reception, a lot of fans didn't like it. But for what it's worth, it at least tried something different. I don't get why so many people would just want it to be 100% accurate to the original source. It would just be the Japanese films and the anime over and over again. Batman didn't retell Dark Knight over, Spider-Man Homecoming didn't have Green Goblin, so why can't Death Note be the exception? We've had an anime, Japanese musical, and live-action movies where all these characters are exactly the same as the manga. Why can't we have something different? There's no rule saying we can't. This is not the best attempt at trying something different with Death Note. To me, that goes to the live-action TV drama, where Light slowly starts off with good intentions, even loving Misa, but then slowly becomes more power-obsessed, as opposed to insane from just the beginning. Still, Netflix's Death Note is worth a watch just to see someone else's vision. If you don't like it, that's okay. There are still other versions of the story you can watch and enjoy. This is just one of them. Whether you like this take or not, this is someone trying to do something different, adding his own vision of Death Note, bringing it to life. And that's what I appreciate of this.